You know that terrifying moment at the NVZ when you're trying to decide whether or not you're going to take the ball out of the air or you're going to allow it to drop? That's the volley dink. And that's the shot that we're going to improve today. A volley dink is going to help you to better control the NVZ because the volley dink does a few things for you. It takes time away from your opponents. It also typically requires less movement from you. And the less movement there is with a dink or with any shot, the more consistent you're going to be. And then lastly, if you're going to work on a flick, it pays to be consistent with the volley dink. I want to know, are you comfortable taking the ball out of the air for a volley dink at the NVZ? Put a yes or a no down in the comments below. Hey everybody, my name is CJ Johnson, and together with my partner Tony Roy, we help players over 50 live their best lives on and off the pickleball courts. And I'd like to thank my dear friend Lori for coming out on this beautiful day to help me teach you the volley dink. The first step to getting comfortable with the volley dink is to get comfortable with hitting a soft shot. The volley dink requires very little paddle motion, and it's kind of a tough shot to begin with because as you reach out, the paddle is moving away from you. So it's got some movement, some energy in the paddle, which could potentially lead to a pop-up or a miss. So the very first thing we want to do is get comfortable hitting soft shots. An easy way to do that is I'm going to move into the non-volley zone. I'm about halfway or so in the non-volley zone, and I'm going to have Lori simply try and hit some dinks to me. Now, they might land in front of me. It might be a volley out of the air, but I'm just trying to soften this shot. And my only objective is I want this ball to land on Lori's side in the non-volley zone. So, all right, Lori, you ready? Here we go. So you notice as she hits it to me there, all I'm trying to do here is just soften this shot and get it to land inside the NVZ. Nice and soft. Nice and quiet. I have a very light grip. You're noticing there's not a lot of paddle motion. So now what I want to do is, I can do that pretty comfortably. Let's take a step backwards. Same objective. I'm trying to get the ball to land inside the NVZ. So go ahead, Lori. Got my paddle in front of me. All I'm trying to do is tilt the paddle up, get the ball to land inside the NVZ. If it comes at you a little high, comes towards your body a little bit, all I want to do is lift the ball up. You notice there's very little paddle motion. Whoop, didn't want to do that one. Very little paddle motion here. I'm just simply landing the ball in the NVZ. All right, now that I've done that, let's take another step backwards. I am just inside the NVZ line. I'm going to try and do the same exact thing. So here we go. I'm landing it inside the NVZ. Just not trying to make it nice and soft. Didn't have my paddle open enough on that last shot. So here, just landing it inside of the NVZ. If I want to land it shorter in the NVZ, I have to open the paddle face more. If I want to land it a little deeper inside the NVZ, I close the paddle face a little bit more. That starts to teach me what's going to happen with the ball when I hit that volley dink. So that's the very first step to getting comfortable with the volley dink. Okay, now that I'm comfortable with the volley dink itself, just taking the ball out of the air, what I want to start to learn is, where is my strike zone? Where's my comfortable strike zone? And my strike zone would be if I'm standing here at the NVZ, and I've got my elbow in front of me, and I just move my paddle side to side. That's a very comfortable strike zone for me. I think you can see that if I reach a little bit, this is going to be a little bit more uncomfortable for me, and anything that's closer to the net from my paddle, I'm going to have to allow that ball to bounce. So for a visual standpoint, I've just taken this, you can use a piece of string, anything that you happen to have, stand, hold your paddle out here, move it from side to side, and determine what your comfort zone is. Essentially, anything that is around these pieces towards my body should be taken out of the air. Anything that's just on the other side of these pieces, that's probably marginal. Anything that I really have to reach for, I'm going to need to let that bounce. So just by having this visual here, I should be able to start to determine what's a comfortable place for me to take the ball out of the air and to hit the volley dink. Okay, Lori, let's hit some volley dinks. Now, one of the things for your partner, as your partner is practicing with you, she knows that if she hits the ball inside of here, I'm gonna take that ball out of the air. Now, if she happens to hit that ball inside of the air and it happens to be sitting up a little bit, it has too much energy on it, that's going to become a shot that I can potentially attack. So this has benefits not just for you, it has benefits for your drilling partner, because they start to learn what is the area that they need to hit the ball to keep it out of your attack zone. Now, one last thing. Even though I'm standing here stationary just to begin with, this zone is going to move with me left and right as I move at the non-volley zone. Let's try this out. Hit me some shots. So as I'm here, that was probably pretty close. I could have reached for that one just a little bit. That was definitely not something I could have volleyed. All I'm trying to do again is to simply land this ball inside of the NVZ. That starts to show me what my comfort zone is inside of the NVZ. Are you trying to get to the 3-5 level and beyond? If so, you need our 3-5 must-have shots guide. And one of those is the defensive dink. Click on the link right above and download your free guide. All right, you noticed I have now replaced this with Volcano cones, and I'm actually going to move these just a little bit, because as I sit here, I know what my strike zone is, and I have balls sitting on top of these Volcano cones. The way we're going to play this game is this, is anytime Lori knocks any one of these balls off the top of the Volcano, she gets 3 points. So I'm trying to defend them, and in order to defend them, I have to take the ball out of the air. Okay, Lori, let's go. And as I do this, I'm very cognizant. I have very little paddle motion. I'm trying to get the ball to land inside of the NVZ. Lori wants me to move around a little bit, because if she gets me to move around a little bit, whoo, that was close. Chances are I will make a mistake. All right, let's go again. Here we go. Ooh, that was a tough one. I had to reach for that one, had to move just a little bit. But you can see by me having to protect these cones, I'm now trying to take more balls out of the air than I would typically take out of the air. And that's going to help you to incorporate the principles we talked about in step 1 and step 2. The volley dink has a lot of purposes. You're going to take time away from your opponents. You're going to find that you move less and typically make less errors. And if you're going to learn that flick, you need to be comfortable with the volley dink. So get out there, find a friend, Practice it, because together we can train smart, live bold, and age well.